Okay, thank you very much. So, as you noticed, I'm not Mark Wolff. I apologize on his behalf because he could not come to FIA to Dublin, and it's a little bit early for him in Canada. So I will try and do my best to tell you a few words about this initiative in Canada, and especially, and this is why we asked Mark to send us a presentation. Especially, they have been doing some experimentations with SMEs, and here we are going to see some of the outcomes of this experimentation and the lessons learned. So first of all, you shall know that DAIR is part of CANARIE. So I am not going to go very extensively through the slides. You will have access to this afterwards. I mean, he agreed to put that. I mean, this is a public presentation. So basically, for those of you who are not familiar with CANARIE, it can be best compared with what Géant is doing in Europe. However, I discovered lately that they are doing also a number of things that are being done in FIRE, especially through this DAIR initiative. But apparently, at least I just had a glance at that because I received the information a couple of days ago. It looks like they are also doing a number of things around cloud, which may be comparable to some of the things that we are doing currently in the FIPPP and in the FIRE project. So here are the mandates. I'm not going to go to this, and let's talk about DAIR. So they launched a first pilot, which was for 1 year and a half, from March 2011 to September 2012. And basically, what they wanted is a little bit like what we are doing in FIRE. Put at the disposal of, especially SMEs to start with, a number of test facilities and other types of facilities, so that these SMEs could do some developments and some tests. And this pilot phase was not considered as commercial. So basically, they were offering the service for free. And now, what they call the full program has started last November, and it will last until March 2015. Okay, and here they really want, I mean, that's a little bit the same type of objective once again that the one we could see in some of the FIRE project and certainly in the FIPPP and especially in the phase 3 of the FIPPP, to involve SMEs so that they can have a faster access to the market with their products, putting at their disposal a number of experimentation services, offers, so that they can develop and go to the market faster. So all in all, it's kind of similar in terms of objectives to what we have been discussing and what we are doing in Europe as well. So let's come immediately to SMEs and to the lessons they learned from their first pilot phase. So first of all, what do SME want from DAIR? Okay, and apparently these are words from SMEs directly. So first of all, they need computing resources. Okay, and they have no cloud experience, so they want to have access to high-speed server, high-speed connection to do their development and testing. They want to do cloud-related development. So they do not necessarily know anything about cloud, and they want to learn by using DAIR. Of course, they will also benefit from some type of funding, okay? And of course, they want all of that all together, okay? So they want to try and speed the access to market for what they are doing, okay? So now, after they used DAIR, they asked again the SMEs, how did that help you move or transform? So basically, some of the SMEs have modified their business models to incorporate private or public cloud after the experience they had with DAIR. They are, of course, moving more to the cloud or expanding their use. And they are also trying to make a better use of the funding they are having access to. Now, the perspective now from CANARIE, from the DAIR people, How was it to attract SMEs? How difficult was it sometimes? Well, first of all, a very small percentage of SMEs arrive through simple social advertising. I think this is something interesting for us. I mean, this was also mentioned, I think, by one of the first speakers, by Geraldine. One of the lessons learned from the open call is that, I mean, let's not advertise in journals. Huh? It's useless. I mean, we need to find new ways of advertising these types of things. And I think this is similar here in DAIR, the outcome. It requires a constant effort to reach these SMEs. I mean, this we see in FIRE. We also see in the FIPPP how difficult it is, you know, to attract SMEs and really have these SMEs use the facilities for their own developments. So they somewhat share the same difficulty. Then, I mean, in terms of take-up by SMEs of cloud services, so this is, I would say, a more general outcome, not necessarily related to DAIR. So they don't have enough resources, SME per SME, to create their products. So they need, you know, this type of facility, but at the same time it is difficult to attract them. So, you know, we always see these two aspects. You know, they know they need something to help them, but at the same time they may not be ready to make the effort to invest, because somewhat every time you use something new you have to invest. And what is interesting also from the DAIR perspective is that the cost of the SME acquisition through some channels can equal commercial value of cloud services provided to an SME. So somewhat, you know, time to time the investment is, you know, so it's the return on investment for the SME is not so easy for us to demonstrate either. Okay, okay, so I'm not okay. You will have access to this, but this is just showing, you know, how difficult it was to increase the number. You know, basically it took them more than 6 months to reach the 40 SMEs they wanted to attract, okay, in their pilot program. And by the way, it was free for the SMEs, and they got some funding. So you see, it was not like they had to pay for something. Yeah? I'm not sure it's written down here, but I had some discussion with the people from DAIR, and they were saying basically if it's, you know, if you charge, I mean, forget it. I mean, people are not ready to do it. So it needs to be free of charge. You even need to give them, you know, something. Otherwise, they don't do it. I mean, that we shall integrate in our thoughts as well. It's not easy, somewhat, to have SMEs really going into this on their just like this, because we think it's nice. Huh? So they are currently revising also their strategy based on all these outcomes. So they are thinking, for example, of going more for a private sector style business model, implementation program around attracting SMEs. Also, and this is something that we have started also to look at in Amplifier, further to some discussions we've had in the past year or so, embedding DAIR within incubators as part of the services provided. So I think this is maybe one option that we could start investigating as well, and I hope this person from the Irish incubator could also tell us, you know, what he thinks about that type of thing. Of course, tighter coupling with major other development, SME development programs. Maybe we shall look at that as well. I mean, we have discussed very much about interacting with Géant, but what about maybe some specific programs for SMEs? You know, that type of thing. Why not? Okay, they had to organize training sessions, okay, for cloud technology. By the way, that reminds me that in the new Sci-Fi project, there will be also a lot of effort dedicated to training, okay, so that people can know how to use the experimental facilities which will be at their disposal. So definitely training is important as well. And this is just what I was saying and what was shown in the previous picture. 7th month to hit 40 users, and another 3 months to hit 40 users for their new full DAIR program. Okay, so as I was saying, pilot was free to SMEs. Okay, I don't think, yeah, this is more technical details about cost recovery. That's more related to the use of CANARIE itself. And basically, I understand this slide is about the type of development that these SMEs are doing. today. What strikes me here, if I look at what we are doing now in FIRE and in the FIPPP, is that I do not see really other sectors using these facilities. It's mostly ICT oriented. There's some warehouse management, but otherwise, it's mostly in the ICT domain. While we are trying here in Europe also to explore the use of ICT in other areas. So anyway, I hope I have tried to transmit the key messages. And in any case, if you have any questions, I may not be able to answer, but Mark promised me if there are questions, he will answer afterwards. Thank you.